Continuing coverage now for you tonight. Ohio's governor is trying to create a new state board of education, signing into law transfer of power from the 19 board members to a member of his cabinet. The transfer was supposed to happen yesterday, but 7 former board members sued, leading a judge to put a temporary hold on the proceedings. As this debate continues, our Michael Sandlin joins us now live. And Michael, yesterday we heard from those who opposed it. What benefits does the governor and other Republicans say this would bring?
Jeff, Governor DeWine says this change is for 2 reasons. One is bring accountability to a department that hasn't had a state superintendent in over 700 days. And 2, he also wants to realign our state's lesson plans to try to increase reading and writing scores. And tonight, a local lawmaker says this change will bring a 3rd so-called benefit, moving away from teaching controversial issues in the classroom.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is looking to shake up the State Board of Education. It's a department that voters green-stamped 70 years ago, but this week, the governor said he needs to reestablish leadership. This after the board failed to name a state superintendent after over 700 days. And he believes more will be accomplished if the power is handed over to a member of his cabinet.
I believe it's more accountable.
Accountability, they hope, will allow them to quickly repair the state's sinking reading and writing scores.
It is not going to be easy for us to quickly pivot every school district in the state, every single classroom. We're going to do it, but it's a lot easier, frankly, if the person who is responsible for that is a member of the governor's cabinet.
One of the biggest supporters of the change is State Representative Josh Williams.
I think it's a necessary transition.
Williams told us this recalibration also brings another important change, removing some of the partisan politics he says were rampant in the Board of Education, such as pushing through flashpoint social issues.
There was policies in regards to whether or not CRT was being taught, whether or not LGBTQ issues were being taught, and that's not the role. They essentially exceeded the authority that they were given.
Williams says he and other Republicans like him aren't necessarily against those ideas for adults, but he doesn't think the classroom is the place for it. And he argues parents have no way to opt their kids out. Now Williams anticipates a so-called back-to-basics approach with the governor in charge.
Educational policy should only go towards the academic progress of our students. We shouldn't be introducing social issues into the classroom.
But Tuesday, we spoke to education leaders who don't see eye to eye with Williams' thinking. Edward Janik worries that it won't be back to basics, it will be another partisan extreme.
We're going to start to see things like having to teach slavery was good for black people. And there are 2 sides to the Holocaust. And we won at the Alamo.
But Williams doesn't think it'll ever get to that point. He believes this plan gives the public a more direct say through the power of the vote. Unlike Board of Education members, most people know who the governor is. So now whomever holds the office will begin to matter more than ever.
Well, the idea is that then you give all Ohioans a voice. Now it will become a factor when selecting our governor and voting for our governor, what type of educational policies you want put forward.
Tomorrow, the governor and the 7 former board members suing him will present their arguments for whether or not the temporary hold on this project should continue. We'll let you know the results both on air and online as soon as we learn them. Reporting live, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.